Thanks for listening to the Adam and Dr. Drew Show on Podcast One.
Hey, what are your plans today? Going to walk the dog? Going to ride the bike? Doing a little gardening? Going for a run? Yoga class? If you wear a smart device like an Apple Watch, you know staying active boosts health and well-being. But now, your everyday physical activity can advance medical science. The American Heart Association, Apple, and researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital teamed up for the Apple Heart Movement Study. Participating in the study helps researchers understand early signs of heart problems and learn how movement influences your health and your mobility. Learn more about the Apple Heart and Movement Study at heart.org/heart movement. That is heart.org/heart movement. Right, Matt?
If you have an Apple Watch, you can participate in this study simply by using your iPhone and the Apple Research app. The Research app will allow you to find, enroll, and participate in research studies. Apple Research app is available for download in the App Store, or search Apple Research in the App Store, then select the Apple Heart and Movement within the Apple Research app study to enroll. Learn more at heart.org/heart movement.
Hi, this is Danny LaRue, host of the Real GM Radio podcast, and we have a special double episode this week. Matt Moore of the Action Network and I go through all 30 teams in the NBA and put them in tiers, and then the legendary Jack McCallum and I talk about his exciting new series on Kobe, LeBron, and the 2008 U.S. Men's Olympic Redeem Team. Lots of great stuff. Check out Real GM Radio at Podcast One and your favorite podcast player.
We're going to do a little side-by-side comparison. You have to wait to hear that. We're going to talk to a caller who has a new game for Adam that he kills. We'll talk to a caller about kleptomania and another caller about getting vaccinated at the Mall of America, and then heading on over to Hooters. That and more coming up.
So let me tell you about Morning Wire. America, well, they've kind of lost their trust in the media. So it's about an all-time low these days. Yes. And they used to be respected media, but not so much anymore. A lot of propaganda and virtue signaling and some blatant disregard for the truth. Yep. It's an insult to our intelligence. Our friends at the Daily Wire are, they're providing an alternative, which is something we need to what we've been bombarded with over this last 18 months. It's called Morning Wire. It's a morning news podcast. It gives you the facts first, the latest in politics, sports, culture, and education, with a heavy emphasis on truth. Remember that, Drew? Brought to you by Daily Wire, editor-in-chief John Bickley, and co-host Georgia Howe. Episodes drop every weekday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe now to hear the trailer. If you like it, leave a 5-star review to help Daily Wire provide a source Americans can wake up and trust.
Recorded live at Corolla One Studios with Adam Carolla and board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist, Dr. Drew Pinsky. You're listening to The Adam and Dr. Drew Show.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the truth. Remember to get it on. Dr. Drew's board-certified Fisher and his fusion messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
All right. Got some calls. Been on hold for a while.
I want to do the calls. My freak out is settling, but I got some ideas.
All right.
We got to finish the week off with that.
Amy. Amy, 52, San Bernardino.
Hi.
Hi, girl.
I am so privileged to be heard by you guys today. You saved me with Loveline. I was watching Love American Style in Florida.
Thank
you guys have you've always been a voice of truth in my life. You know, whether as soon as you get the facts, like Dr. Drew, when you're discussing, you need the information. You can't, to do informed consent, you want more information.
Yep. That's it.
I love that about you guys. The truth does matter, and you have a lifetime of truth.
You know what? It's funny.
It makes you so solid.
Amy, it's funny you'd bring the truth up, because truth has been under assault for quite some time. And I was listening, and it was really this post-structuralist that really made truth just another way of looking at things. And then I saw that objectivity and logic is now considered racist, and only white guys use that kind of thinking. And I thought, oh my God, we're there. And then I heard a French woman who's a current academic philosopher going, we in France cannot understand why Americans are preoccupied with these ancient French philosophers from 75 years ago that have been completely found to be useless, and we've moved on from that, and what a crazy period that was in French philosophy, and you've latched onto that as something to rally around is insane. So truth does matter. That's your point, and I agree with it.
And facts are an emerging perspective with computers. I'm old. With the internet, everything changed. Mm-hmm. You couldn't find anything out unless you went downtown to the library. Mm-hmm. Now it's on your phone. Mm-hmm. My kids call it the reverse Tower of Babel. We're all starting to talk, and it ain't pretty. Mm-hmm. But I think it's positive, because positive is integrating, and negativity is separating in physics. So we're coming together.
It's good. It's good. Do you have a question for us?
Maybe fusion.
Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, it was about, I saw that video of the guy taking all the stuff from the store, because in California you could just go get what you want now, I guess, up to $950.
That's right.
And so there was something, by the way, you clarified this with me. I think astronomy is to psychiatry as astrology is to psychology.
Interesting.
And I appreciate you as a physician, because I couldn't even go to I wouldn't qualify. I'm not smart enough for medical school. Never was.
So stealing, $950.
Huh?
Yeah, you're getting a little scattered here, Amy. What do you have a question?
Oh, sorry. Oh, it goes back to kleptomania, so the DSM-5, which you have to use, interestingly enough, is essentially written by liberal artists who create these disorders. So kleptomania is now promoted, I guess. So is it a disorder anymore? Because, looking at that video, that guy taking the stuff, I want to go get some stuff. I'm not gonna, but it just looked like fun.
That's funny. So, yeah, that was something you tweeted, Adam. I think the video of these guys just going into Target and just pulling out $900 worth of stuff and walking away.
TJ Maxx.
But yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's just California. And then they close these places down because they get destroyed financially, and then somehow that's inappropriate for the businesses to do that?
Look, it's all dogs at the airport. That's
I'm not sure that's what this is. This is hey man, it's what we should all have access to everything all the time if we want it, man. If that guy wants to live in your son's bedroom, that's where he wants to live.
What I mean is everyone loves their dog, and most people or many people may enjoy traveling with their dog, but you don't do it.
Right.
But if somebody said there are no more rules. If you'd like to travel with your dog, you may travel with your dog. Then a percentage of our society would do it, and it would be enough. I always said if 5% of our society just wanted to go out and kill or steal or whatever, we couldn't control it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have rules, and the rules sort of keep people in check. When you and I used to travel in the late 90s, if you saw a dog at the airport, it'd be sniffing out for gunpowder or cocaine or something.
Correct.
Fast forward to 2-3 years ago, you would frequently now see dogs at the airport.
Every so often, you have the dog shitting, peeing area.
Yeah. Right. So what happened? Well, we stopped enforcing things, and we sort of let people. And if you tell people there are no consequences, there's just. Here's the thing.
Hey, people could be shitting and peeing in those same little green plots, because that's what's going on in Los Angeles.
Right.
Wheel out in the streets here, so why not in the airport?
Dogs at the airport or homelessness.
Yeah.
Just stop enforcing things at the park. When somebody pitches a tent in the park, you have to get it that night. If you don't get it that night, the next day there'll be 2 tents and so on. And that's just how we are. Now, we have this thing in California where we sort of, I mean, a lot of this is based on my mom and her sort of hippie mentality, which is to say, it's sort of like...
It's the same thing that ruined your education in middle school.
Yeah, well, grade school. But
grade school.
The whole point is this. It's sort of like it's the environment. I say it all the time. It's like just step back and let nature sort of kick in.
Rousseau.
Right. All right. We did that. You know what my front lawn looked like when I was a kid?
Yeah.
When you just step back and you let nature just sort of take over?
Ugh.
It's a fucking weed-infested dirt mess. That's what you have.
Yeah.
The finely manicured lawn that you want to use as a putting green 2 houses over, that's a lot of intervention. That's not stepping back and letting nature. We would do that with the indigenous people, too. You know what I mean? Just step back and let them live in harmony. It's like they didn't live in harmony. It's not how they work. This thing of like, if we'd only just, there's this thing that if you just get out of the way, people will do the right thing. Nature will kick in. Human nature will kick in, and that will be it. Okay, so what do we do? Well, we told the cops to get out of the way.
Reminds me of the guy
that got out of the way, and now everyone's shooting each other and stealing from the TJ Maxx. That's human nature. Now,
that's just nature generally. It reminds me of the guy that got eaten by that bear a few years ago.
Right.
Remember that? Bear, let him do the thing, whatever. Bear just eats him.
Yes, and this sort of feeling of everyone is going to do the right thing is like saying you're going to have a beautiful lawn. Just you don't need fertilizer and pesticides and gardeners and stuff. Just step back. Just step back. And by the way, just like your lawn, it turns fucking fast. It's not just step back from your lawn for 3 years. It's step back from your lawn for 10 minutes.
And by the way,
don't water it for 3 weeks and just step back and tell me how fucking fast the shit turns.
It's sort of good news because you can see the cause and effect very clearly. You know what I mean? It's not like you forget about us stepping back. No, we stepped back 10 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Good news, bad news.
Somebody's
4 been on there for a while.
Yeah. We'll talk to Frank 27 from Minnesota. Frank.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Guy.
How's it going?
Hey, man.
Hi, Guy.
Hi, Guy.
I just, ever since I've been listening to this podcast, I just kind of go with Adam and be like, what the fuck are we doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
And back in March, I got randomly selected to get vaccinated, and it was at the Mall of America, of all places.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just herd you in there, got the shot, whatever, and then to exit, they didn't exit you out to the parking garage. They exited you out to the mall. So it was just shoulder to shoulder. And it was just, I don't know, I was just sitting there. I'm like, what are we doing right now? But then I got out of work early, so I went up to the third floor and went to Hooters and had a beer. So it worked out good.
Nice. I was desperate to get the vaccine around that time, actually earlier. I was trying desperately to get it, and then I got COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, hospital.
Thanks, Frank. Appreciate it. I'll see you in Minnesota, by the way, August 27th, 28th.
I've been meaning to get tickets, but I'll definitely check it out.
Acme Comedy Club.
God, I'm hearing
Thanks,
comedy
Frank.
venues are full everywhere, I'm hearing. It's good.
Yeah. I guess they are.
Let's go to a live pod somewhere.
All right.
Should be easy.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say.
Easy for you to say. All right. Someone's got a modification on my threesome idea.
All right.
Matt, 52.
Hi, Guy.
Hi, Guy.
Hi, Guy.
I'm sitting in Pebble Beach right now wondering, are you coming, are you racing for the concourse?
Fuck yes.
All right.
I'm pissed that we had to
fucking get out to the track.
I'm pissed that we had to fucking cancel it last year. Outdoor.
Well,
huge, is outdoor. The infield of a 2.5 mile racetrack is as outdoors you can get.
Right.
But we couldn't trust people to be
science,
outdoors.
So.
Yeah, more science. Fucking
okay,
pussies.
I didn't mean to change topics here, but I've been thinking about this for a while. When you guys threw it to Gina to see what her her choice would be with the 0 to 10 scale on the threesome. I was thinking, for women, why don't you make it 0 to 12 and make it inches?
Drew, for those of you,
it's like the hobo scale.
For those of you who don't know, I stumbled into this sort of hypothetical situation, which is, would you rather have 1-8 or a threesome, but the combined score couldn't be higher than 10?
Yes. And
Drew, as a man of exquisite passion, I obviously have to ask you to answer the question as well.
I go for the single higher number.
Yeah, that's it seems I think I'm going to have to adjust the combined 10 to a combined 12. I think.
Makes it a little harder.
Yeah.
It's a little more difficult.
There's more thinking that needs to take place.
Yeah.
But for women, it's the single 8 or the combined, I think it is 12.
You know what's funny about this is it goes back to one of your old constructs about how men construct the number.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, which number are we going to give me?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, you get to pick your own number.
No, but remember how you used to have
Yeah, I do remember that scale, but what I'm saying is...
You get to design it yourself?
Well, for your threesome, you can go with a 6 and a 4. You can go with 2 5s.
But I'm saying is the let's say it's a 6 and a 4, is that 6 all 6 in one of the categories? You know what I mean? That men use to come up with a number?
No, but here's why you're a fool, Drew.
Yeah, why?
Because you can't parse it out and say, well, I'm very much into a woman's personality, and I don't. It's just a 6 as society judges a
general
6.
Okay.
And, we have to have a certain unit of measurement. It can't be your version of a gallon of gas. It just has to be a gallon of gas.
Got it.
So, by the way, we're $5 a gallon now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And $2.50 is tax.
Right. Yeah.
Welcome to California.
Right. So, but the point is you would go with the 8 versus and by the way, you'd go with the 8 versus the threesome with the combined 10. But what if I got hold of a 23-year-old Dr. Drew? Would he have gone with the combination?
No, I think it still would have been.
The 8.
Yeah.
No fluctuation or variation.
I don't think so. I mean, it would have been a harder decision, probably. but I think it would have ended the same way.
All right. Let's see. Let me hit blinds galore here. Over 2 million windows covered. Blinds are counting. They've done Drew's place. They've done my place. They do my edit bays and studios, and not the generic cut down products at the hardware store. All blinds and shades are custom, and they fit perfect. It is blinds galore. Build a blind tool lets you create and customize your window treatments to see exactly what they're going to look like before you buy. Blinds, blackout shades, shutters, drapes, motorized window coverings. They'll connect to Amazon, Alexa. Family owned and run for over 20 years, whether you need more privacy, sleep, or cool down, especially during the summer if you got an upstairs bedroom. You're just fixing up a room. Blinds Galore has what you're looking for, right, Matt?
BlindsGalore.com makes it easy to get high-quality designer blinds and shades you've always wanted in your home without the designer price. Order free samples today to see for yourself at BlindsGalore.com. Let them know we sent you. That's BlindsGalore.com.
All right. We'll take a quick break. Come back right after this. So what's going on, Drew?
Oh, you're going to my freak out again?
Mm-hmm.
So my freak out is less. It's diminished a little bit across the week. But it made me think about everything and what am I doing and how long am I going to do, blah, blah, blah. And I started realizing that I've been in sort of a low-level denial about the work I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
In that I can't believe this is work, like what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I worked in hospitals, that was effing grueling work. I mean, I was working from the moment I woke up. It's just constant, like work. This feels enjoyable / playful, whatever. And that has impaired me a little bit, being like that. And you cut through the Love Boat aging thing, cut through that a little bit. And you cut through that a little bit the other day when you told me that you made a comment about my preparation. And you said I don't prepare adequately. And I took that to heart. And I started really thinking about it.
I told you that 27 years ago.
I didn't
take it to heart now?
Correct. You didn't actually say it to me. You said it to me recently when I heard it. Let's put it that way.
Ooh.
Because before my preparation was, hey, I'm practicing medicine. That's what I do. That's my preparation. That was my thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And this wasn't really my job. This was this was an enterprise that I was engaged in. Mm-hmm. But now this is sort of what I do. Mm-hmm. And it's I still can't quite believe that. That's hard for me to imagine this is a job. So,
yeah. But again, it's like work. I was thinking about my relationship with work. It's also why it's always sort of semi-dumbfounding to me when I see people kind of standing around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like hanging out.
Yeah.
But I also realized I was actually chronicling my work experience. And it sort of dawned on me when, I don't know, the other day, intern Ryan was going to drive me to the airport with Sonny, and I just came out of the studio, and he was just talking basketball with Sonny on the sofa back there, and I said, what are you doing? And he said, talking basketball with Sonny. And I said, do you have anything to do? And he said, I'm just waiting for you to come out of the studio and drive you to the airport. I said, but do you have stuff to do here? And he said, no. And I said, you don't have a job? And he's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, okay, go do the job, and then when I leave the studio, I'll alert you, and then we can go to the airport. But I'm going to hang out for 20 minutes before we leave anyway. But there's a casualness that did not infect me when I was young. I've seen it. Now, again, it's not really an individual thing. It's more of a trend or a zeitgeist thing.
Yep.
But then I also thought, my jobs growing up, or whatever jobs I had, the job was working at McDonald's. Or no, before that it would have been, mowing lawns or helping somebody move or something like that. But it was like moving stuff, cleaning stuff, washing cars or whatever. Then it got into McDonald's, working the grill at McDonald's, where you just grilled shit all day, and if people didn't come through the door, like there wasn't a lunch rush or whatever, they had this sign that just said "Time to lean, time to clean." Like, you got to get busy, and you
need that sign here.
I know. Then it went. Then it went to working at a liquor store delivering stuff, but all I was is driving back and forth and carrying boxes with a hand truck and deliver. There would have been no downtime, so to speak. If I was at the store, I'd be loading up a delivery, whatever. Then once you get into construction, it's physically impossible. You can't stop or sit down or whatever, because the foreman will just come by and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
And
somebody will run into you.
You can't go, "I'm thinking about work." There's no
waiting for you to tell me what to do.
Yeah, no, 1,000% on your feet, moving all the time. But then I thought, well, then that gave way to sort of show business, radio and TV shows and stuff like that. But even with show business, there was no downtime. Like when we were in production, working on something, doing a radio show, Loveline, whatever it is, man show, we were working like the entire time.
Busyness feels more like work. You know what I mean? We were busy, and that does feel more like work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I always find it bizarre when people are at work and they're just kind of hanging.
Yeah.
But I've never had that experience, of
hanging.
It feels like you shouldn't do it once you're at work.
Yeah.
But there's also a new kind of a definition
of work. Do it at home.
Right. So I just realized you can't have the kind of experience I have and have had and see things through the eyes of a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
These days, like it's not. I mean, it's basically like asking your grandpa about gay marriage, and he'd go, "What the fuck? No, come on, you can't have that." And you'd go, "No, that's it. That's what we do." And he'd go like, "What? Two fellas? Get out of here!" And you'd go, "No, that's where we're at. Like this is how we roll."
1780s, man.
Right.
Well, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. And part of what you're diagnosing in me is I'm not busy enough. And when I'm busy, I do more. In other words, when I'm busy, I'm more engaged. I prepare more. I'm more attentive and that kind of thing. So that's part of my problem. Part of it is denial. And now I've added a new layer, which is what do I want to do for the next 10 years and what's going to be like 10 years from now? Oh, I'm just spinning in the Joan Fontaine, Richard Basehart BS I got sucked into by looking at their IMDb's and Wikipedias from Love Boat.
Hey, speaking of celebrities, Gary, I was telling Max Zapata to cut up this Medea clip. I don't know if he forwarded it to you or not, but it's in its rougher stages, but it's something that I thought might entertain you.
Me? Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll tell you more about it.
Go to line 3.
Line 3, Jeff, 32, Louisville.
Hey, guys. Appreciate you taking my call. First of all, Adam, I love the President Me CD series from a few years back. I bought numerous copies and gave it to friends and family, so that was awesome.
Oh, thanks for getting that book.
Yeah, just and then in 50 years we'll all be chicks. I've got that book. It's awesome. But anyway,
thanks.
So I'm a decently successful guy. I live in Louisville. I met this girl. She's in residency at U of L. She's going to be a doctor. We've been pretty good dating for a couple months, actually, without getting physical. And she kind of dropped a bomb on me last night. Great chick. She's kind of libertarian, conservative-minded, has a great sense of humor, beautiful. But she dropped the H-bomb on me last night that she has herpes. She, I guess, takes Valtrex. She's very healthy, I guess, otherwise. And I'm sure I've been exposed to it before, but this is the first time we've had this, conversation. Obviously, as far as I know, I mean, I've gotten tested recently. I'm clean, but I know I could be stepping on a landmine with this girl sooner or later, but I'm really into her. I was just kind of getting your all's advice because I'm sure the sex would be awesome, but it's in the back of my mind with... All
right, so listen, calm down. So what is her residency in? She's actually already a doctor, so what's her residency in?
Ironically, well, it's gynecology.
All right. So was she good? So was she able to reduce your anxiety and talk to you about the effects of the Valtrex and the unlikelihood of being transmissible?
Yeah.
Okay. She's not just trying to convince you. She's a doctor telling you that it reduces infectivity by like 95%. Now that's not zero, and putting a condom on helps more. But it significantly reduces the risk of transmission, particularly if she doesn't have outbreaks, and she would know as a gynecologist whether there was any outbreaks. So, and here's the other thing. Let's say you really are into this girl, you decide to marry her. Then who cares? Then forget everything about it. It's a skin rash. Who cares?
Yeah, Jeff, I'm with Drew on this. It's 2021. I think we can kind of get past this.
It's weird that this is still stigmatized. It's weird. It was just a weird stigma that got going in the 80s, and it remains to this day. It's way more common than you think. More people have it and don't know it than you might imagine. Mm-hmm. And, she's on Valtrex. She's taken care of. She's a physician. Forge on.
Yeah, we have our blessing.
Yeah.
Gary, so I was having Chris sort of recut something, but I was basically saying you can have whatever his former cut was of it to possibly delight and entertain Drew.
Okay.
As I get into this next call. Adam, 50 LA.
Really, actually from Carlsbad. I don't want to be known as being from LA. So.
Smart.
First of all, I'm a teacher, just to let you know that, but I do have a game for you. Maybe it's probably too easy for you, but I thought you could have a game called Can Adam Make It Racist? You pick an object, and let's see your dialogue and how you can make something racist, like a tree. How do you make a tree
you
racist?
can't lynch somebody without a tree.
Right,
I mean,
it's
that's
right there. It's
that's what
racist.
they use.
See,
They
I knew it'd be.
They didn't have lynching stations. They
easy
had trees. My
lay it
God.
at 'em.
I'm looking
First
at a
off,
palm tree.
Why we even bring that up? Well, if we'd had lynchings in SoCal,
could have been palm trees.
Then it could have been palm trees. We would have had to fit them. But yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, too easy.
Well, by the way, this clip will dovetail nicely into that.
Give me about 60 seconds.
Max Zapata sends it. Yeah, I had him do some modifications on it because I was trying to
zero in on something.
Well, it's an interesting thing, and thanks, Adam. So what I do is I see things in things. You know what I mean? Now you don't. Know
no, I do, because let's talk about Love Boat. Listen, I've started to see Love Boat through your anthropological prism.
Right. So but here's what I'm saying. I see somebody in the news.
Yeah.
And I go, that guy looks just like Val Kilmer. And then I'll say to someone, find me a picture of that guy and Val Kilmer. They find a picture of the guy who's 27 years old, and then they find a 63-year-old version of a bloated Val Kilmer with a gray beard.
Right,
and I go,
right.
No, find me the one that looks.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, okay. You said you wanted Val Kilmer. And I always have to massage it and drill down and do another lap. And I'm not sure why I can't fully express or put it in their head. Part of my problem is there's a lot of shit that I think goes unsaid that needs to be said. Like when I say this guy's 27, it's kind of implied that you need to find the 27-year-old version of Val Kilmer,
By the
but
way,
it usually takes a little bit.
The first time I saw you do this successfully was with the mini version of Godzilla and a wide receiver.
Godzuki.
Godzuki.
That was Chris Carter. Thank you.
And I was like, what? And then somebody put it up there. I was like, oh, my God.
So there was a Texas, I don't know.
State representative of some sort. I'm not
sure.
Representative,
and she was one of the ones who got on the plane with the COVID and super spreader event and whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they were calling themselves heroes and martyrs for the cause. And she's going to, well, I'll play you her.
I was told to
second.
play a setup and then there's another clip. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. I will hear from her first. I think is how it'll work.
We refuse to be a hostage.
That's right.
To remain a hostage within the state of Texas. And I know that there are search warrants out for us, and I'm ready to be arrested. What do you do to a slave if you don't do nothing but arrest them when they flee? We fled Texas, and if they want to arrest me, go ahead. I'm ready to be arrested.
Okay. So I was watching her, and I thought it reminded me of something. And what it reminded me of, she's, by the way, everything's slavery. Everything's just Jim Crow and slavery. Now, you got a private jet, you went to Washington. You had a case of Miller Lite. What are we talking about here? All right.
I hope she didn't get sick.
Sorry.
It did not go well.
She's
vaccinated.
I'll play the clip.
We refuse to be a hostage.
That's right.
To remain a hostage within the state of Texas.
But if they don't want to get help, it ain't going to happen. You listen to me.
What do you do to a slave if you don't do nothing but arrest them when they flee? We fled Texas.
Exactly. How the hell are a man going to put a woman out her own house?
Haven't we done enough?
Right.
Have we paid the price enough?
Yeah. You want to bet? It can happen one of two ways, honey. You can get it from his checking account voluntarily or his insurance policy, involuntary manslaughter. Which one is going to be?
Now, that, of course, is the beloved Medea. And I used to complain that this was a way over-the-top sort of fictionalized characterization of a middle-aged black woman, but I don't know. I owe Tyler Perry an apology, is basically what I was saying. So when I saw her, I was like, she should be suing Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
There's for copyright infringement.
Right, for intellectual property.
Intellectual property.
There's an IP violation here.
Yes. All right. Anyway, I thought Drew would get a kick.
Thank you for that. That was a kick
out of that.
Nice little finisher to the week.
All right. You can go to AdamCarolla.com and get all the info and stand up everywhere. I mean, wow, Chicago and Kansas City and Michigan and Minneapolis. Well,
that middle, man, you're going to be right in the middle of the country, man.
That's right. And you can check out our Pluto TV channel, our chassis channel on Pluto TV 687. I got tons of good material there. What do you got, Drew?
DrDrew.com, DrDrew.tv. Check out Instagram, Dr. Drew Pinsky, and TikTok at Dr. Drew. Check me out there.
All right. So, till next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
Pluto TV is playing the biggest movies every night this summer for free. Watch hit movies like The Hunger Games, The Matrix, Pain and Gain, G.I. Joe, Retaliation, Scary Movie, Runaway Bride, and more all summer long. Check out the biggest stars like The Rock, Keanu Reeves, Jennifer Lawrence, Tom Cruise, Julia Roberts, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and more. Plus, Pluto TV has hundreds of free TV channels in English and Spanish featuring TV shows, news, sports, comedy, and more, all for free. Download the free Pluto TV app on your favorite streaming device, including Android and Apple smartphones. Pluto TV. Drop in. Watch free.